Testimony continued today in the trial of the Boulder King Soopers shooter.
Today we were hearing some very detailed reports regarding ballistics, other important facts as well. And 9 News Investigates Kevin Wan was in the courtroom listening to every witness today. Now he joins us live from Boulder. Kevin?
Kim and Tom, this was a day when the jury listened to hour after hour of tedious, detailed, and important testimony. For example, there was an FBI firearms expert on the stand this morning who traced every one of more than 30 bullet trajectories. These were bullets that in almost every case did not hit anybody. There was also testimony, graphic and painful testimony, about each of the wounds suffered by the 10 people who died in this tragedy. That went on for much of the afternoon, and later this afternoon they've heard from other FBI agents talking about things like the search of the suspect's car and all the ammunition and the magazines and the guns found there. So it's been a lot of information for them. It's been going since 9 o'clock this morning. They're probably going to wrap up here in the next 15 or 20 minutes, but it's been a long day for this jury.
Kevin, this is a murder trial, but there are 10 victims instead of 1, and there's a lot of emotion, of course, especially in that community. What else, though? Have you seen anything else over these first 4 days, anything unusual?
Well, Tom, you're right. It is a murder trial, and one part of it's very much like a lot of murder trials. The prosecution is presenting a lot of evidence to try to prove that the suspect is guilty of every one of the 55 counts he's been charged with. One thing that's unusual is, because the suspect pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, the prosecution also has to prove that he was sane on the day of the crime. In other words, that he knew the difference between right and wrong, and that he had the mental capacity to act with intent. And so there have been a lot of questions that they've asked of witnesses aimed at getting at that point.
And while you bring this up, we've had some really emotional testimony in the days before this, the people that were inside the store, the employees and things like that. But it's sort of painting this whole picture of describing every single moment of that shooting for the jury. So this is a lot of detail. Do they wrap up by the end of the month?
The prosecution and the defense have sort of indicated they are on track. Right now, this trial is scheduled on the court's calendar until September 27th. And if they're on track, we've got a little more than 2 weeks to go, 2.5 weeks maybe.
Kevin, you will, of course, continue to bring us more coverage throughout the trial. You can also see Kevin's updates at 9news.com. Thank you very much.